Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. How is everyone this morning? I hope I find you well. And it's the weekend, and people are very much enjoying all the fun stuff going on in the realm of gaming this weekend, for sure, me included. Today is Saturday, the 2nd of March, 2024. Of course, I am Darkside Phil, and I'm here to chill with you all on the Daily Wrap. That is not supposed to be there. Hold on one second. There we go. I said the Daily Wrap. Like, a little early for the Daily Wrap today. Anyway, I hope that you all are having a good one and ready to relax and chill with me here on the show. We're going to talk a little bit more about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because guess what? Yesterday's stream went really good. Not only, you know, like support-wise, which I was very appreciative of because of the kind of dead premiere stream that we had on Thursday, but the game got way better, like way better. As soon as we hit the open world and got to fully start exploring it with the chocobos, wow, it's exactly what you would want from an open world modern Final Fantasy game. It literally does everything right that Final Fantasy 16 got horribly wrong. So I had a blast, and I'm actually can't wait for more. I'm going to talk about this today on the show. Now, in addition to that, you know, last night in Tekken, basically we got a taste of what it's going to be like moving forward, and it ain't going to be easy, that's for sure. But that doesn't mean that I'm not still having fun and getting better. We'll talk a little bit about that. Today we do not have any game news. There's really nothing significantly going on in the realm of like any kind of news. And by the way, again, it looks like I've hit this camera. It totally looks like I'm not centered again. Yeah, I know I haven't moved. Better, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I swear to you, I don't move every day, yet every day the camera's always the wrong direction. It could easily be that it's naturally moving, the vibrations. Maybe it's like screwing in one direction or something. I don't know. But now I look more centered, right? I think I do now, right? Okay. Anyway, so, yeah, you know, we'll talk a little bit about Tekken, but there's no game news today. Not surprised. We had a lot of game news last week, like tons, right? And honestly, every time I'm reporting on game news, it's bad stuff, like people getting laid off. So I think in this case, no news is good news. So, depending on how things go today, we'll see if maybe we want to delve into the suggestion box a little bit. You know, we'll see how time permits. But I am excited for more Final Fantasy today. And I think I've come to a determination about Monday. I think I after our discussions yesterday, which is basically, hey, should I play a ridiculous amount of Final Fantasy VII and only like one stream a week of Balers Gate 3, or should I alternate? I think I've come to a determination, and I will announce that on today's show. Okay? Cool. All right. So, I hope that you're all doing well, and I hope that the weekend finds you well. It's very sunny outside today. When that happens, technically, the office usually is much brighter. I have my blinds closed, but the sun still creeps around and peeks through. If you think it looks a little bit brighter today in here, you're right. There's not much I can really do about that. Spring is almost here, man. And when spring hits, number one, pollen. Ugh. And I have pollen allergies. Like, it's not bad enough that I have postnasal drip that hits me like every other day. But also these pollen allergies are going to hit me too. So I'm probably going to have to go out and get some meds. I'm strongly considering getting either like a nasal spray or something stronger than usual. Because usually I get like a daily pill. But I don't know how well that's going to work. Last year I did buy a spray. And it didn't work. I bought a nasal spray for the first time ever. I'd never used it. And at first, when spring hit, we didn't use it. And then it was later in the year. Both my wife and I had bad allergies, and we went to use it, and it didn't work. The pump was broken. So there's no way to get the spray out. I was like, wow, that was a waste of money. You know? So hopefully, we get one that's good and will actually help. So, anyway, I guess we shall see how things go this year with spring. It's almost here. I was thinking, wow, wait a minute. St. Patrick's Day is in like 2 weeks. And then you've got, I think, Easter. Well, spring hits on the 21st of March, correct? I think, around the 21st of March, something like that. So pretty soon we're probably going to have warmer temperatures and a lot of pollen around here. And then I believe Easter is at the very end of March this year. I don't know. I mean, not that these holidays affect me, but I like to put up like seasonal art and stuff in my slideshow or, the intro or outro of the podcast. And I'm trying to remember when all this is. It's a little hectic right now because I'm trying to get through and juggle all these RPGs and games. I got to start working on my taxes. I'm going to have private Patreon videos to make soon. So all this stuff is going on at once. It's like, time is flying. And I feel like, I don't know. I do feel like the year's going by faster, but I feel like we still haven't really hit our stride for games yet. The big new releases this year so far are Tekken 8, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and now Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. And they're all fine games, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I'm almost feeling like we haven't seen the big one yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like we've hit a momentous game that everyone is ultra hyped for, talking about, and playing. It seems like everyone just kind of plays games in their own little circles now. And that's a little different than how it used to be. If you remember, many times a year, we used to have games that were so big, right? That it would be the talk of the town. Everyone would be talking. Everyone would be playing that same game. And it would just be huge. And it doesn't feel like that anymore. It's like, all right, there's one group that likes all the independent hits. So there's one group, they'll play Pal World for 2 weeks, then Pal World disappears. They'll play Helldivers 2 for 3 weeks, and then Helldivers undoubtedly is going to disappear. You got people who've gone off and played their various RPGs, right? Some people playing Like a Dragon, some people playing Persona, some people playing Grand Blue, some people playing Final Fantasy 7. Is there some crossover? Yes, but is everyone playing everything? No. So even then, it doesn't feel like there's one big RPG that everyone is playing. Hell, even with fighting games, that's the case. Tekken 8 came out, got a lot of hype. Oh, but then there was Capcom Cup, and Edge just released a Street Fighter 6, so now people are playing both. And you see what I mean? Like, there doesn't seem to be one major focus in gaming right now. It seems like everyone kind of goes off and does their own thing. And you know what I compare that to? TV. Because right now, for example, there's Netflix. There's Hulu, there's Amazon Prime Video, there's Paramount Plus, there's Peacock, there's HBO Max, which is now just Max. There, you know what I mean? So if you have one or some of those, you're hyped, but how many people have all of them? So when a new show comes out, is there as much hype today for a new show as there used to be? Not really. Because when a show used to be on TV, everyone could just see it. Right? And so it was like, simultaneously, everyone would go watch the TV in prime time, and everyone would be hyped for this brand new show that was on. Now that doesn't happen anymore because most people don't even have access to every show because you have to have 17 different subscription services. So now I kind of look at that gaming, I'm like, it's kind of the same. It used to be like maybe one or two games would be the hype games for a few months, and then another giant game would come out, and that would be the hype game. Now it's kind of like a ton of games come out, but they don't reach those levels of hype that they used to have. Everyone just kind of goes off into their own corner and does what they want, but there's not one central focus anymore. Now, I think that'll change later this year. I mean, undoubtedly, a game like Elden Ring and its DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree, will be front and center when it comes out, and everyone's going to be talking about a game like that, right? Like, I think we all can accept that'll be huge, right? But it just does feel to me like the focus that we used to have doesn't exist anymore. And so that's fine, right? But it is different. You know, again, when I started off on YouTube, and basically every month there'd be one or two big games to play, and then a bunch of little ones. The big ones, always people would come to the channel and check them out, and then the little ones, sometimes you get people, sometimes you don't, but I would just keep pumping out as many videos as possible, playing whatever. Today, it just seems like there's so many games out, there's no way I can even catch up or play them all. I have to purposefully select certain ones and skip others, which of course means you're always going to have people who are disappointed that I didn't play the particular game they were looking for, right? Anyway, I guess we'll see how things go, but right now it's just weird to me because are people talking about Rebirth right now? Yes, they are. Is it as hype as I thought it would be? No. People are excited for it, don't get me wrong. A lot of people are playing it and liking it, but it's not like this was the big one. This is the giant one that everyone will be talking about for a month. It's kind of like, oh, Rebirth's out. It's pretty good. Oh. Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm also playing this and this and this. Like, whoa, wait, what? It's not how it used to be. It used to be Rebirth is out. Drop everything. Everything everyone's going to do or talk about is Rebirth. That's it. I mean, that's what happened with Elden Ring when it came out, right? It was just Elden Ring, Elden Ring. Last year, Hogwarts actually was like that. When Hogwarts came out, it was Hogwarts, Hogwarts. We haven't really had that vibe this year. You know what I'm saying? So, I wonder what it's going to be this year. Will it be the Elden Ring DLC? What will be the big game this year that's the drop everything, everyone must play it style game? I don't feel like it's happened yet. Okay. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Yesterday, playing my second day of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the game got way better. All right. How did it get way better? Well, we hit the open world outside of the town of Kalm, and we had already done initially a little bit of exploration, but really not because we didn't really have full control over exploring because we were on foot. We got the Chocobo yesterday, and as soon as you get the Chocobo, now you can hightail it through this area real fast. You can climb, you can do all this stuff, and basically once you find Chadley, who is a returning character from Remake, you now have the ability to map out all the content in this area. So you've got rare monster fights. You've got little shrine, or what do they call them? Not temples, not shrines. They're called like springs or something, like Mako springs or something like that, where you follow a flying red owl to it, which is very similar to you say following the fox in Ghost of Tsushima to find like a secret area. It's kind of the same idea here. You've got actual side missions that have like a story to them. So we actually ran into the Beck Gang from Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was a group that you would run into like in the underground sewers and kind of like beat the crap out of them and threw them out of their own like gang hideout in the first game. Well, now they're recurring characters and they're just comedy relief, but you're chasing them down trying to get this artifact they found, and there's like 4 stages to it, culminating in a big kind of boss fight. All right, so that was fun. But basically, I definitely liked the way that it played out. The graphics were great. You know, the combat's getting better, by the way. Like now, we've played with every character. I played with every single one, and I see how they each play. I would say so far my favorite characters are, I would say combat-wise, Tifa and Red 13. I actually like a lot, and Cloud's good. By far my least favorite right now is Aerith, because the problem with Aerith is everyone else gets into their stride, gets into combos, gets into a special ability, and then if the enemy comes at them, they can basically parry. That's the new mechanic in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where instead of just dodging everything like you did in Remake, you can dodge, but now if you parry, meaning you block perfect timing when they're attacking, you stagger the opponent, and that allows them to be like stunned for a second, and now everyone can just wail on them to fill their stagger gauge and get tons of damage in, and that's really what you're supposed to be doing. But with Aerith, she's very slow. She's a magic caster only. She doesn't have melee attacks. So you're trying to cast, and every time you try to do, some enemy rushes her and hits her right in the face, and it's very hard to like time parries and stuff because she's in these slow animations of attacks and stuff. And I'll be honest too, I like the combat, but the thing that I'm really not using yet is like I'm not using special abilities or magic. Why? Because it's in a different menu. It's really weird. Like you'll be doing the flow. Okay, light attack, heavy attack. Every once in a while, you get your special triangle move. Charge up, use that. Then if you hit left L1, you open your menu of your abilities and you start using your combat abilities. But it's like, oh, I want to use magic. To use magic in combat, you have to press X, go to another menu, select spells, go to another menu, select the spell, then select the enemy you want to fight, and then press X again. It's like, wait, what? So I could either just tap buttons and get to a free flow combo, or I could open 7 menus to cast a spell. Which do you think you're going to want to do more? What naturally the human condition is, you're in a vibe, you're in a flow, you're in a pattern. Just keep that up. Keep it flowing. Keep it going. Then parry, then move. Now, oh wait, pause all of that to go through 3 menus to cast a spell. I do think that that's annoying, and I really have barely used magic at all in the game so far because of it. And I am finding that seems to be a shortcoming of the game. Like the AI will fight, but doesn't really do much in the realm of using magic or casting spells at all. I guess what people are saying is if you equip the auto cast materia and you pair it with a spell casting materia, that the computer will then use the AI to do that kind of stuff actively a lot more often. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking we got to figure out a way to make it easier because right now, like I like the combat, but I don't love it yet. And I think I will. I think in time I'll get more into it, into the groove of it. Like for example, I think that right now the most free flowing is Tifa because you build up a combo. You boost her with unbridled strength. She gets to level 2. Build up another combo. Boost her again. Unbridled strength. Then you stun the enemy. You hit that finisher as like the level 3 finisher. It does tons of damage. And it's like, cool. Feels like an action-based combat game, right? Which is good. Or you play with Barrett. Now it plays a little differently. Now you're using your ranged gun, right? And then using your overdrive. And every once in a while you use a special ability. And then finally you get the ultimate one who's blasting everything, right? That's really, really fun. And it's different than the other combat because it's completely ranged. You know, Cloud's kind of basic, but he's still good. He's solid. And I think Red 13 is interesting because of the combos that he can do. He can either do regular attacks or the spin attack that hits everything in an area. And then you, depending on what special ability you use, he has like transforms a little bit and fights a little differently. So I like that. But I just haven't really felt like 100% like I'm into the combat yet. Like I'm understanding it fully. Like for example, these synergy attacks. I understand what they're saying. You build up enough of the meters with each character to do a synergy attack. Why would you do that, though? Like, the whole point of the combat is you're doing a combo, right? And then you build up your meters, you immediately use them for special abilities. Why would you be saving up like 2 to 3 meters per character to do a synergy attack? It is, unless they're just so good that you would forego doing all of your normal abilities and attacks to do them. I don't know. And then apparently there's some special time when you can do them, and I don't even understand that. It makes me kind of scratch my head a little bit. It's almost like the combat is overcomplicated. Like, it seems like they had all these, they wanted to retain the combat from the first game, but then they wanted to add some new stuff, but then they didn't really find a way to integrate it all so that it was easy to access and easy to do. Instead, it's kind of like, well, I'm either going to do it this way or this way. Instead of, I'm just going to integrate other things, right? But I think that the combat's going to get way more complex as we get further into the game. You're going to have to master things like the timed parries and knowing when to use the elemental magic and stuff like that. So, anyway, I guess we'll see what happens. Continuing on, but so far, I really like it. And basically, after doing this open world area on the Chocobo for about 3 hours, there's a meter that fills up. It actually tells you how much of the content of the region you've done, and we've done about 2/3. So today, it looks like we will likely finish the first open world area of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And the thing is, if the game is paced like this, if you do a major story segment that's like 3-4 hours, then you go to an open world with all this fun optional content, then you go to another story segment like a town or another dungeon or whatever it may be, you do that for a few hours, then you go back to the open world again, right? Whatever it is, I think that would be dope because that's a good formula because you won't ever get burnt out on either one. Like, if there was just all open world content, that'd be too much. If it was just all linear, you get tired of it. When do I get control? So the mix might work well. And definitely I could see why this game would be like 60 hours then. Because maybe you're going to do like 5 hours of story, 5 hours of optional, 5 hours of story, 5 hours of optional. And you basically alternate that like 4 or 5 times. That's the game. I think that would be amazing. I would really enjoy it. That's the formula of the game. I guess we're going to find out. Keep in mind, this is the beginning of the game. We've only played it for around 8.5 hours. We still haven't unlocked 4 characters. You still got Yuffie, Kate Sith, Sid, and Vincent coming up. Now, I don't know how much you'll be able to play with them in the game, because I don't know at what stage during this game you'll get them. Maybe some of them you get at the very end, you can't play with them that much. But it's going to be cool getting more characters in the party as well and being able to alternate between them and learn their different combat styles. I'm sure they all play differently, right? So, I'm excited for today. I hope you will, after this podcast, stick around and join me for more Final Fantasy VII. It should be fun. Open world, more exploring, more fun content, and good chill vibes until we basically beat it. And then we go to the next part of the story, which you have to, if you remember, you pass that bog with the crazy serpent. We can't fight that thing yet. And then probably just you scoot over. Is Fort Condor next? I'm trying to remember what's right after the bog. It might be Fort Condor. I can't remember. And then after that, you get to the first major town, correct? Okay. So anyway, I'm excited for that. Please stick around for it. And by the way, yesterday, I don't know what happened. So on launch day, right, support was incredibly slow. And I was like, wow, so this is kind of disheartening. Should I keep playing Final Fantasy VII as much as I said I was going to, or should I cut back on it? Yesterday, it was literally the opposite. It was people came out in droves to support, and it was tips, it was super chats, like it was a great day. Yes, I wore the Cloud Strife wig yesterday, and yes, we will continue with this. If we hit the tier 2 goal of $100, I will put on the Cloud Strife wig again today. Okay? So you got to see me, and as you see, we have 2 new emotes in the chat. Number 1, we've got me as Cloud with the actual Cloud hairdo from the game, like the classic Cloud hairdo, like the PS1 style. And then there's another new emote of me wearing the Cloud wig. And honestly, I think that when I'm wearing that wig and I had the Gunner glasses on, I look more like Garth from Wayne's World than anything like Cloud, because that wig looks nothing like Cloud's hairdo. But it was pretty funny regardless. People liked it. So yeah, like it was a great day for support. Wow, people really rallied after the first day kind of sucking. They rallied, and yesterday ended up being a really good support day. So thank you for that, okay? Now, will that continue on, right? I don't know. I don't know if that pattern will continue on, or if today all of a sudden it's just going to slow down. I don't know what to tell you. I guess we'll have to see. But I guess we'll see as we play, right? I would hope. I'm not expecting a crazy day like that every day, but I would hope that if people who are liking the game will support it, and we can keep it in the rotation more often. But, you know, it may be that we have to kind of alternate, and we'll talk about that a little bit further in the podcast when I get to the schedule, okay? So, last night, it was Friday Night Fights Tekken 8, and basically now, at the level we're at in Tekken 8, it's become apparent that we only playing this game twice a week, getting like 2.5 hours in each session. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to make too much progress past the point I'm at. Now, listen, I'm happy with how well I've done in Tekken 8. This is the best I've ever been at Tekken, and I'm not even that good, but this is definitely the best I've ever been at the game. I know good combos, good strategies. I'm baiting. I'm doing high-low mix-ups, throw combinations. I'm learning matchups. I'm countering things. I'm punishing things. You know, playing at a pretty good level compared to what I used to do in Tekken, which was basically pick an overpowered character and just mash buttons, right? Mash those special attacks over and over, or whatever it may be, right? Now, I'm not winning constantly, because the level I'm at, what people have done is they found these abusive things to do online. And this happens in every single fighting game. Oh, I pick a character, and this character has a move that comes out incredibly fast. If it catches you, it basically makes you crumple, and you get a giant combo. If it doesn't catch you, immediately mash into another safe move, and then if you don't exactly know what to do in that situation, maybe it's block and wait, maybe it's throw, maybe it's do a launcher and counter hit, punish, or maybe it's not, maybe it's sidestep, whatever it may be, because every character is different. If you don't know exactly what to do because you have the character knowledge, they can immediately just repeat it again. And that's what I'm facing. Like, certain characters, I fought a Kazuya who literally only hit me with 2 moves. This one move that's this stun fist, he goes like this with his right fist, and it just boom, locks you. And now he gets a giant punish combo. Or they call it dual pistons, where he's crouching and he just goes like this. 2 uppercuts. And they're so good. Insane range, insane hitboxes that stay lingering out there, and they interrupt almost everything in the game. So if you see him doing dual pistons, you have to just halt everything you had planned doing, wait for them to finish, and then try to punish. But that's what I mean. They'll just do the same moves over and over. And since I don't have the character or matchup knowledge to know how to counter those moves, they just get away with doing them over and over. And I lose. And it's frustrating when you lose to repetition of the same bullshit, rather than, oh, this guy really tricked me. He had a good strategy. He outplayed me. He was tricking me into this situation. He read what I did and punished the mistakes I made. Instead, I spammed the same move over and over. And I won because of it, because it's such an overpowered move. It sucks, you know? It's the equivalent of losing to Ken in Street Fighter 6. Why'd he win? Because all his moves are overpowered. So he can just do an endless spam of the same combo string or whatever. You can't do anything, right? It's the same exact feeling here. So this is basically the situation that I'm in Tekken 8. The only way that I can improve is to play a ton and learn individual character knowledge and matchups. Like, for example, yesterday I fought Jack 8s and Kumas, who were very good, and I didn't know what to do because I never faced good Jack 8s or Kumas. So, of course, I'm going to lose those matchups until I play enough and I realize, okay, this is what you do against this. This is how you counter this. This is how you punish this. But I need to have that experience. Right now I'm trying to get it, but I'm going to take my licks during that time frame, right? The good news is I did gain ranking. I actually got from mid-level red to high-level red. I think it's Tenru it's called. And we're almost at purple. Like, if I win a string of matches right now, 3 or 4 matches, I'll hit purple. Okay? But the problem is I'm kind of lingering here because every time that I end up facing a purple player, because I fought a bunch of them last night, most of them are doing things I've never seen before. Right? I fought an Asuka using these techniques and combos. I don't know what they are. I've never seen them. Don't know if they hit high-low, if they're mixing me up. I don't know. And that's the situation is I will lose to that stuff a lot. So unless I learn that stuff, I don't think I'm going to break into purple and stay there. I think I'll get there eventually, but I'll probably get demoted again. So this is kind of the limit of someone like me. And here's the difference between me and Street Fighter 6 and Tekken. In Street Fighter 6, I have enough prerequisite knowledge and enough experience in the franchise that I can get to a decent level, like probably platinum to diamond. Then through very big practice, then I can grind a character from diamond to master. In Tekken, it's like, no, I have to really play the heck out of this game because there's 32 characters, and it's not really based on just fundamentals. It's based now on specific data for each character. For an example, I was fighting, I believe it was a Victor, and I just didn't know what to do because this Victor kept doing this same combo string over and over, and I could block it, but I couldn't do anything to punish it, and he would just do it again and again, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And so someone left a comment, and this is someone who had helped me in Tekken earlier, and they're like, so what you need to do is not get ever into that situation. What you need to do is use your own combo strings. For example, do 3-1, which gets you into a helicopter stance, and then mix that up into 2 different moves, and just keep doing that over and over, and Victor will never get things going. It's like, that's kind of silly, though, right? That's absolutely silly. If you're in a situation, you need to find a way out of it. The solution to get out of a situation is don't get into it. What? That's not even how life works. So if I ever get into a situation, just give up. just okay, take my hands off the joystick. There's no way I'm going to win this fight because it's just unstoppable. Because that's what when I was playing, I was like, when is my opportunity to find the opening and punish? And the answer in the comment was, you can't. Yoshimitsu's not fast enough. They'll be able to spam the thing endlessly. You can't do anything. I'm like, what? That's a terrible answer. And if that is the truth, that's sad that Tekken has situations where there's characters who just are unstoppable with repetition. That's stupid, right? And the thing is, maybe it's true because I've never played Tekken at a competitive level. I haven't. I've never really entered Tekken tournaments or anything like that. Maybe that's how it is. That's unfortunate. It shouldn't be like that. In a fighting game, through skill, you should be able to persevere out of a bad situation. Not, oh, since you got yourself in that situation and you have this character situation, you're not fast enough, you're done, just give up. That's dumb, right? Anyway, I'm going to continue to play Tekken, but the thing is, I know I'm going to get heated playing it now because I'm at that level where If I have a good matchup, I really enjoy it and I learn. But if someone just spams the same move 17 times and it seems unstoppable, it's annoying as shit. And that's what the level we're at now in the game, these high-level red matches. But I don't know at what speed I will make progress because, sadly, I only play it twice a week. This isn't like Street Fighter 6. When Street Fighter 6 was out, I was playing it like every day or at least every other day. So I was playing it 4 or 5 times a week. I was getting in tons of gameplay. I was learning. It's hard to learn when you only play it twice a week, you know? Anyway, so I had a good time, and I want to get better, but the only way I will get better is by playing a lot, which I'm not doing. So it's going to be slow progress. And it's funny because, for example, Nemesis T-Type says, you should watch iMusician and see how the pro uses Yoshi. What you have to understand, and this is very true, this is also true for Street Fighter 6. You can watch pro-level matches in fighting games as much as you want. It's not going to help you at the level that you're at if you're not at a high level. Why? When you're at a high level, people don't just spam the same move over and over. They don't. They assume that their opponent has enough knowledge that if they do that over and over, they're going to lose. They're going to get countered and destroyed. So there's a lot of variety. There's a lot of intelligent thought, attempts at mixing up or fooling you into thinking they're going to do one thing, then they do the other. Not same move, same move, same move, same move, same move, right? So when you're watching the high-level gameplay of, say, Tekken or Street Fighter 6, you don't see the spam nonsense that we see when I'm playing online. It just doesn't exist because these people are smarter and better than that. But then when you play at that level and it's just like, here it comes, spam move, spam move. Well, how do I beat the move? I don't know because I'm a noob. I'm trying to learn. I don't have the solution. So in the meantime, just keep getting hit. And you lose your mind. You're like, oh my God, I want to throw my joystick. I want to rip my hair out. I want to take this table, rip it up, and smash it over my knee and break it into a million splinters. And then I walk away. I take a deep breath, and I'm still upset. Because I lost. Fuck. That's how I've always been with fighting games. You see, now I can laugh about it. But when the heat of the moment, when the adrenaline is pumping through me, I get angry. I get very, very pumped into it. That's how I've been. Fighting games are the one game I've really played competitively, and I get so into it when I'm playing in that heat of the moment, right? But then now I can laugh at it, you know. So, anyway, looking forward to more. We're actually playing more on Tuesday night. So that was yesterday. Today, let's get to the schedule now, okay? Today, more Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth right now. Gonna hopefully finish this open world segment and get into the next part of the game, whatever it may be, whatever the story takes us. I don't know if it's exactly the same as the original game or different. We'll find out. But it should be fun. It was chill fun yesterday. It was a lot of good stuff, good vibes, good interaction with the chat because we were doing all this cool open world content, and I'm looking forward to more of that today. Tonight on the late stream, it's more Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. We're in Chapter 7 now, and we're basically trying to finish up any side content in the area because we're about to head into like Chapter 8, and from what I've been told, in Chapter 8, basically the game changes. Now the game separates, your party kind of splits up, and because of that, you don't get to do all the stuff in Hawaii. For a while, actually. For many hours, you won't get to return to that content. So I'm trying to finish up all the content there that's available now so that we're not lingering with that and have to do it much later in the game when like we're over-leveled for it, right? So we'll see how it goes tonight. Always a good time with Like a Dragon. I hope you'll join me for that tonight. Tomorrow is React Day. That means all day long I'm doing React content on Sunday. It'll be the podcast followed by heading over to DSP Reacts for my weekly stream DSP versus the Internet where I react to clips from the members' submissions. Then Sunday night, we're heading over to my DSP Throwback channel for Retro React, where I'm going to react to more Heavy Rain, my classic playthrough from 2010. You know, we did it 2 weeks in a row. You guys absolutely have loved it, and people want more. They're craving more. And I'm like, well, I'll give you more. Let's do it once a week then. So we're going to do that Sunday night. Monday, I made the decision. The daytime stream on Monday will be Balers Gate 3. Okay? We are going to do a daytime stream of Balers Gate 3 on Monday. And I need to basically start posting this up and announcing it everywhere so that the Baldur's Gate viewers, the Balden Gators, or the Baldarians, they're rolling right now. They're shuffling their 20-sided die. They're like, when do I get to roll it? Usually I would have rolled it at least twice this week, and I can't roll my die. My hands are getting chafed on the inside because my die keeps getting shaked up. So Baldur's Gate will be Monday's daytime stream. We'll continue on with the questing. Remember, we're right in the middle of a really interesting quest. We're in a warehouse or whatever. There's some oil in the water and stuff like that. So Baldur's Gate on Monday, okay? Monday night, there will not be a stream because Monday night, I'm going to be working on private stuff behind the scenes. So please understand, these next few weeks, I'm going to need probably one stream a week to do stuff like that. So that's going to be Monday night this week. Tuesday, it's going to be Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth continuing on, paired with Tekken 8. And then Wednesday, Balers Gate 3 and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Okay? So Thursday will be the day off this week. Okay? Cool? Cool. Okay. Excellent. Now, next week, basically, I am going to be balancing everything. And what I mean by that is I'll probably alternate daytime streams. We'll definitely have a good amount of Rebirth, but we'll also have some Balers Gate. This way, I'm kind of appeasing both parties. It won't be nonstop one or the other. At the same time, it'll be more variety. And for those who like the Balers Gate stuff, because basically what I've done is I read all your feedback this week. And there's some people who definitely want more Final Fantasy 7, and there's some people who definitely want Balers Gate to continue. The opinion is that we've already gotten this far for Balers Gate. Why would I stop playing it or only play it once a week when there is a group of people who have supported me all the way through this over 100 hours of gameplay, right? And basically want to see it continue, and they don't want to wait around for 4 months now to see it continue because I'm only playing it once a week. I understand that opinion. At the same time, it's annoying that I'm over 100 hours in, and we still have like 40 hours to go, and it's like, so how long am I going to play this game? Because you have to understand that the mainstream audience for it is gone. It has been for a while, right? We went from having thousands of views on each video down to less than 300. People did not watch throughout the entire 100 parts. Most people fell off at some point. Now, maybe that'll, change in the long run. I've actually heard, a lot of people are basically saying, I'm going to catch up on it eventually, right? But for me, I get it. People want variety. But at the same time, playing it once a week maybe is too little. Maybe playing it once a week, there's just not enough. You know what I'm saying? I feel that makes sense, that maybe we should just alternate between the two. That the main games should be Final Fantasy 7 and Balers Gate 3 on the day streams. And then the night streams are Tekken 8 and Like a Dragon for a while. In a couple of weeks, we've got the Star Wars Battlefront collection coming out. I think that's going to be a great multiplayer game to throw into the mix because it's a super good game. It always was. In the 2000s, it was one of the most popular multiplayer games out on PC. Oh my God, it was super fun. So I'm excited for that. I actually want to play that. And then later on in the month, we got Rise of the Ronin. And I'm going to be honest, after looking at everything here, okay? After having looked at the situation with me playing so many RPGs, I think it might make sense to hold off on Dragon's Dogma 2 for now. But I'm not sure yet. What I want to do is I want to see what happens. Obviously, we don't have reviews out for it yet. We don't even have early game preview stuff yet. I want to see what happens with Dragon's Dogma 2. How much hype it gets, how much people want to see me play it. Listen, I want to play Dragon's Dogma 2. But the way I see it is, if I'm in the midst of Balers Gate, it's not done yet. If we're playing Final Fantasy 7, not even close to done yet. Still playing Like a Dragon. Does it make sense to take on a fourth RPG? The answer is no. Okay? I don't even have to say, I don't know. I know the answer. The answer is no. So, maybe what I should do is hold off a little bit on Dragon's Dogma 2, right? Until basically we maybe wrap up Balers Gate. Because if I'm playing Balers Gate and I'm alternating it now with Final Fantasy 7, right? Then maybe, I'll get more progress, So, it's just so funny because everyone talking about stuff like a Dragon, listen to me, all right? I'm just going to say this right now. Stop. Just because you personally don't like a Dragon doesn't mean it doesn't have an audience, doesn't mean that it's not a game that I like to play as a late-night chill stream, all right? Because it's funny because, why don't you replace Like a Dragon with Balers Gate 3? Because no one will be there for Balers Gate 3 at night. Balers Gate 3, we tried as a night stream, it didn't work. People didn't show up. People want it as a daytime stream. So Balers Gate 3 has to be a day stream. We've already tested this. You just don't remember. But I was here when we changed slots for Balers Gate 3 and it didn't work and everyone complained, so we switched it back. All right? So you can stop sitting here and yelling and complaining just because you personally don't like a Dragon doesn't mean that it doesn't have people who come and chill and like that game as a late night chill stream, which is his point. So stop. It annoys me when we have a schedule that's kind of working and then you got to have people who just got to complain about everything, right? And it drives me nuts. So everyone shut up like that. That's just being toxic, honestly. That's not positive feedback. It's oh, so the game is great. You're enjoying it. The people that are there for it enjoy it. but we still want you to stop playing it just because it's our personal preference. No. If you don't like the one particular game I'm playing, don't go to those streams. But then come to the other streams you do like. Don't demand that I stop playing a game because you personally don't like it and you want more of the game you like. That's ridiculous. That's pretty entitled, actually, you know? And I understand that I'm in a lot of demand to play a million games at once. I get that. It's time to be real here. You know, I'm a variety guy. That's how I'm still pertinent. If I just sat here and played one game all day, every day, I would be gone within a week. You know, the reason that people check out my stuff is because of the variety. You know what I say? So, please understand that. And let's keep rolling with what we're doing. Now we're in our stride in all the games, too. Like a Dragon for a while was floundering there for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, because we're going to do Dondoko, and we got to get through this grindy thing. Now the game's cruising, right? Now we're cruising with progress, and I'm having a great time. So, excuse me. So, yeah, let's keep going. Now, so really the one thing in question here, moving forward, is going to be, what do I do about Dragon's Dogma 2? Do I play it this month or not? I'm leaning towards no, hold off on it. I don't think 4 RPGs at once works, just being honest, okay? But we'll see what happens. I'll listen to you guys. We'll look at reviews together. We'll figure this out. Maybe if it even means just delay it until I wrap up another RPG and then I start playing it, that might make sense too. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens. But yeah, schedule-wise, I am going to next week start balancing between Balers Gate and Final Fantasy. That way neither game gets stale. That way hopefully both groups are appeased and having a good time. And that way the Baldarians don't come after me and beat me with their 20-sided dice because I'm not playing the game enough. Fair enough? Okay. All right. That's that. That's what we're doing. All right? Cool. So, honestly, that's really all that I've got for today. Reason being, like I said, there's no game news going on or anything like that. So, with no game news or anything going on, we have some options. Option number 1, we basically just kind of chill and we do some Q&A. Option number 2, I could refresh and we could do some of the suggestion box. Option number 3 could be basically we just do some shout outs quick and then we jump into the game. You know, it's really up to you guys what you want. You know, I'm down for whatever. If you want extra gameplay of Final Fantasy VII today, we could do that. A lot of people have said they like the podcast. They want more podcasts. You know, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Right now, we have nothing. Like, literally, I don't have a single super chat, a single membership, a single re-upping of a membership, or a single tip. So I have nothing to shout out whatsoever. So we're kind of free to do whatever we really want at this point. Okay, yeah, I'm just double checking. Nope, nothing. Some people want suggestion box. Some people want gameplay. Pizza Box Gaming just did the first contribution of the day and said gameplay. Okay. The Angry Phil emo? I thought I added it here. I thought I did have Angry Phil. I'm pretty sure I added it at some point. Didn't I? Or did it get taken away? I don't know. Did it get taken away? It was replaced by Cloud Phil? Oh, okay. Gotcha. You guys care way too much about the emotes. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Do I have the suggestion box even open here? Okay. Okay, so I'm in the suggestion box, and just so you know, someone posted up a suggestion that's like 7 paragraphs. I'm not kidding. And essentially, they're suggesting so many things. Like, we could take them one by one, but this will be like the rest of the podcast. I'm serious. This is like so many things. And I'm wondering if a lot of the things are even things that are important to you guys, or if this is just someone who just personally wants this stuff, right? Here, I'll give you an example. You ready for this one? I'll give you an example, and this one's absolutely hilarious. All right? I'm gonna read the first one. You're gonna laugh so hard. You ready for this? Here's a bunch of things to consider. This is how they started, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can read 11 and it still goes. Okay? So, ready? Suggestion number 1. Stop relying on feedback for decision making. Viewers want to watch what they want regardless of whether it makes money. You want to make content that profits. These aren't the same goals. You need to start making your own decisions. What? The first suggestion is stop taking feedback to make decisions. And that suggestion is feedback given directly to help me make a decision. What? You gave me feedback to try to sway my decision making that says don't take feedback to sway your decision making. That was the first thing he suggested. And then he went on to suggest 10 more things that also should not sway my decision making. Do you understand? Listen, here's the thing. Let's actually address this logically and not as a joke, because I understand what the person is saying. Here's the deal. Here's what's happened in the last year to 2 years. I've become way more of an interactive streamer and persona on the internet. What does that mean? It means that back in the day, when I started on YouTube, I used to be isolated. There was no live streams. There was no interaction when I did live stream. It was just Phil sits here, plays a game, acts like he's alone, doing solo commentary, and that was that. Now, was there ever actual interaction or feedback or things that influenced my gameplay? Yes, but it would come after the fact. I would sit here and play the game for 3, 4, 5 hours, upload all that content to YouTube. Then people would comment on the videos or email me or tweet me or post on my forums when they used to exist. And that feedback would then be factored in to future gameplay. Like you may have noticed in my old videos, it'll be like, I'll do 10, 12 parts, and all of a sudden the next part, all right, so I've been reading comments and people are saying this is how I do it, so let's go do it, right? There was no live feedback. There was no live interaction. There certainly was no hand-holding. No, here, Phil, we'll help you, guide you to play a game. So when you take a look recently at things that I've been doing on my streams in the last 1 to 2 years, so many things are a direct result of feedback. Phil, do some React content. Everyone else does it. Okay, I'll do it. So I started doing it. I made a channel for it, right? Phil, bring back the old playthroughs, the ones that are missed on the internet. Do more content related to your old classic style. We like that. Okay, so I create a whole channel for it, DSP Throwback, and that's rolling right now, right? Don't just talk to a slideshow when you open your stream every day like you used to do, because I used to literally do this. Talk to a slideshow. This was my intro every day. Instead, if you're going to do this, talk to us on Facecam. Okay, I will, and I'll make it a podcast. So that way, it's an actual show that people look forward to every day rather than staring at a bunch of clip art, right? So I've been directly taking your feedback now for like 2 straight years. Look at the whole setup behind me is a direct response to your feedback. The feedback you've given me is why I have improved visual quality, improved background. Hell, the microphone right now sounds better, correct? That's because of you. because you guys kept complaining and eventually said, all right, let's tackle it. This is the next thing we can tackle. Let's adjust the knobs. Let's adjust in OBS. And now the audio has been upped in all of my content, which has always been a complaint over the years. My volume's too low. Now my volume is louder, right? That's cool, right? Okay. So basically, your feedback is constantly making stuff improve. But at the same time, it could be a double-edged sword. And what I mean by that is, for example, in a time when, let's say there's a bunch of games coming out, and I know that I can't play all of those games. And personally, maybe I would prefer to play one over the other, but then I ask for your feedback, and it's the opposite, right? It's, no, I'd rather have you play this one instead. Focus on this one, not on this one. I mean, it literally just happened. People say, just drop Like a Dragon. Well, no. We're almost 40 hours into Like a Dragon. I love the game. There is an audience for it. It is a kind of almost a guilty pleasure late night chill stream where I know I'm not going to get a ton of support, but not every game that I play has to be about support. So even though I'm getting direct feedback to drop it from certain parties, I don't want to drop it because I love the game, right? So for the most part, your feedback has helped a lot. Now also, take a look at the last 3 months. Balers Gate 3. Again, this is a game that if I did not get feedback constantly, if there was not engagement on those streams to help me understand the systems, the lore, and all of that, I would not play the game. Being honest, I'm over 100 hours into a game that I would not have played if it weren't for being a live streamer. That's just not my style of game, to have to sit there and study and memorize and learn everything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm having a good time now because of your help. If I didn't get feedback and constant, guidance on how to play and what to do, I never would have gotten nearly as far as I did in that game. I probably would have gotten like 20 hours into it and said, fuck this, and never played it again. Okay? Now, it's not like that for every game. It's just not. Most games are still like the old style where it's me fully exploring, doing things. I'm not accepting major plot spoilers. I'm not accepting major spoilers on how to do things. Like yesterday, right? We're doing Final Fantasy VII. Was there a couple little hints and things people gave me in chat? Sure. But for major stuff, like when we ended the end of the Beck Gang's plotline and we're fighting the mini-boss, did people immediately say, oh, so here's all the weaknesses of the boss, just do it this way? No, I just did it myself. That's how it's going to be. Baldur's Gate's probably the exception. People can't resist telling me stuff about that game for whatever reason, right? But again, I never would have played that game if it weren't for you guys giving me feedback and advice anyway. So I think what's happened is a couple of things. Number one, I used to be a very obstinate and stubborn guy. I did not actively listen to feedback. I didn't. I ignored it a lot of times. My attitude used to be, hey, I'm the YouTuber here, not you. All right? Ultimately, I should be in control of everything, and I'm going to do what I want to do. And you don't have to like it all, but then if you don't like something I do, then don't pay attention to it. I'm a variety guy, and if you don't like this game in this style, then go check out this game in a different style that I'm playing later, right? But what's happened over the years is that I realized that you all out there, my live audience, have been a huge well of support and information. Like, getting your feedback has directly helped me to make big decisions that have impacted things for the better. Am I wrong? Like I said, look at the stream today and compare this to 2-3 years ago and tell me that this isn't so much better than what I used to do, that the production quality hasn't monstrously improved, that we're not working together over and over to do things better, right? Now, I understand if literally I never make a decision for myself, then things aren't going to work. If literally I'm so wishy-washy that I let you guys walk all over me and everything that I do is directly as a result because someone told me to do it, that's also not going to work. It's just like everything. It's just like everything in life. You have to find moderation, correct? You have to find that happy medium to balance it so it works. If you do too much one way or too much the other way, you won't find happiness. You won't find that level of enjoyment. You have to find that balance. So it's a challenge. Even me doing this for 16 years, being a full-time live streamer since 2017, so you're talking I'm heading into year 7 now of being a full-time live streamer, it's definitely a daunting challenge. But I strive to do better, and I think certain games work certain ways and certain other games work certain other ways. And in some cases, I should listen to you guys. In other cases, I shouldn't. One example here, something that I always stuck to my guns about, and now it's hilarious because now it's a moot point, green screen. How many years did people yell at me, Phil, you need a green screen? Every streamer uses a green screen. I was like, I don't see the purpose. If I was sitting at a PC in the setup that these people use, I could paint the wall green or whatever, and it would maybe act. I don't do what they do. My style doesn't need a green screen. So I always fought back on that. I don't think the green screen would work. Now, here we are years later. Literally, no one asks for a green screen anymore. Why? It's played out. It's old. No one cares about it anymore. It didn't add anything to anyone's streams to begin with. It was just a mentality of bandwagoning. Everyone did it, so just do it. And now, my setup has improved so much regardless. People don't mind having this in the background because they like how it looks, right? So I'm glad that I didn't just rush into doing the green screen, which is what everyone yelled at me for years and years and years. At the same time, doing other basic improvements like better webcam, actually having a colored background, having a ring light so that I can actually be seen. All these things are way better, right? So again, it really is like you have to sift through all the feedback you get to try to find the feedback that works and then implement a lot of stuff so that, things will overall be improved. Okay? But I get it. I think what it is a lot of people now, they look at me and they're like, you just don't make decisions for yourself anymore. I disagree. I literally just made the decision that I'm going to keep playing Like a Dragon. Even if people yell at me for playing it, I still want to play it, right? And I told you, like, honestly, yeah, I want to play Dragon's Dogma 2. I absolutely do. I don't think it's the right thing to do because I think I'm playing too many RPGs. I'm playing 3 right now. How am I going to play a 4th RPG? You might as well just retitle this DSPRPG. Why don't we just retitle the whole channel right now and all I do is just keep playing RPGs because that's what it is right now. I'm playing 3 RPGs and a fighting game. It's too much. It's overload. I don't want to fucking play nonstop RPGs. I need variety in my content. Even me, I'm going to get burnt out only playing RPGs. You see? So I need that level of variety. So maybe we need to take a step back from Dragon's Dogma 2. And that's a decision I think I'm making. You may disagree with it, but that's a decision I'm making. I took in feedback, but I'm doing what makes sense for the business for now. I'm not saying that I'm not going to play it later because I want to play it. It sounds like a great game. I loved Dragon's Dogma 1. But the way I see it, I don't see how that could possibly work, right? So anyway, there you have it. So it's just funny because you're saying make your own decisions. That's actually awful advice. If all you do in life is you ignore all the feedback you get from outside and you only make decisions for yourself, you're severely limiting yourself. And I know that now because that's how I used to be. It's funny because I used to be like that and all I got was constant criticism saying, why don't you listen to feedback? This is one of your major problems. You're a dinosaur because you don't listen to feedback. So now, over the years, I've evolved. I've changed myself to listen to feedback and actively implement it both in gameplay and in my setup and streams. And now my feedback is, don't listen to feedback. You listen to feedback too much. You can't have it both ways. It seems like no matter what, the door flips back and forth. Perfect example. 2 console generations ago, I loved the Xbox 360. So I played it a lot more than PS3, and everyone called me an Xbox fanboy, an Xbot. Phil, he's just an Xbox fan. Don't trust his opinion because no matter what, he always says Xbox is better. Then last console gen, my honest opinion was PS4 was way better than the Xbox One, so I played almost all the games on PS4. See, Phil's a Sony pony. Phil's just a Sony fanboy. You shouldn't listen to anything he says because he's always just favorite to Sony. Huh? So just because things change over time and I have difference, or my opinion changes, I'm always on the side of wrong, no matter what. And in this case, this feedback, don't listen to feedback, is hilarious because number one, it's contradictory and hypocritical. But number two, the fact that this person doesn't understand that I used to never listen to feedback and make all my own decisions and it didn't work. Eventually people said, you're stale, you're tried, you're boring, you're just doing the same thing over and over, you don't listen to anyone, right? And that's not how to run a business. That's why, things are going south for you. So now I listen to feedback, but that's no good either. It's like, anyway, I'll keep going here. To that end, you need to start researching for yourself what upgrades you can make that make sense to you. It would have been fairly easy to discover a curved low-profile pop guard without much effort. Yes, except I didn't know that it was an issue until I did co-op with Cat. And then when I did co-op with Cat, people observed, oh, look, the pop guard's too big, it's blocking them. It would be better if they had a different pop guard. Until I did the co-op with my wife, it wasn't an issue. It wasn't a big deal. So again, until I got feedback from my viewers saying that that round pop guard was too big for us to do co-op, I never would have even known that I needed to upgrade that. Feedback. Do you see my point? Listen to this. I'm going to continue on. You need to spend money to make money. If you don't start reinvesting to the channel on a level, it's too late. Here's all these upgrades that you can do. Ditch your ring light. Get 2 softbox lights. Search softbox lighting kit on Amazon. Turn on a set for $50 to $80. It looks better. It's less harsh. You can set a color temperature when you dial the white balance settings in OBS. Search Clark Technic Mic Booster on Amazon. For $50, you can boost the gain of your mic, putting it between the Scarlett and the mic, and this solves your quiet mic problem. Look at the Audio Technica AT4040. It's an upgrade from your current mic, and you give 2 mics for you and Kat streaming together. If you're going to move on towards making content over gaming, you have to upgrade your webcam. Look at 4K webcams like the Logitech Brio 4K, Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra, or the Insta360 Link. Get an HDMI 2.0 capture card, or 2.1 capture card that recently is released. You'll be able to play at higher resolution and get a better picture in the stream. Foremost, you have to get a new PC. It'll let you use your Stream Deck, and you'll have better encoding options like AV1 that allows you to stream at the same quality with less bandwidth. You can do this with cheaper Intel Arc GPUs. The CyberPower PC has a model called the Z790i3 that's under $1,000. So what do you guys think? What's your reaction to that? What do you think? How should I respond? Okay. So I'm trying to read what everyone's saying in chat, and the responses are very different. Some are like, well, they got a point. You got to spend money to make money, but they just put out a laundry list of things. That's a lot of money at once. And then someone's like, well, did they actually include a bunch of money with that suggestion for it to help you buy all that stuff? And then someone else is like, you literally for 2 months have been stating that your revenue is down because the trolls screwed your memberships, and someone literally posted a laundry list of money to spend and a suggestion as if that never happened, like they just ignored you. Literally every statement you guys just made is correct in the chat. Every one of you is absolutely correct. However, this person actually is also correct. Okay, he is. You need to spend money to make money. That's absolutely right. And I know that I have to do upgrades at some point. Right now, I'm coasting. And what I mean by that is my capture quality is good. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's good, right? Looks good most of the time when I'm playing games. Every once in a while, the frame rate chops up and then it freezes or unfreezes or whatever, and then it looks better again. It's still, it's passable quality. Eventually, I'm going to have to improve. I know that, okay? My PC is 10 years old this year. 10 freaking years old. It runs on Windows 8, okay? I can't even buy new equipment for it because nothing works with Windows 8 anymore. And I can't upgrade it because it's on its last legs. It's got fans on it that have burned out that don't work anymore. It makes noise. It's old, okay? It's not going to last forever. So I know that I need a new PC eventually. I know that I can make upgrades. The thing is, when you have a business like this, all right, you need to basically pick and choose what to do in what order. I would say, what are the things that absolutely need upgrades immediately? Probably the PC. That's going to be the next thing. Like, no exaggeration. Upgrading that PC, buying a new one, and finding a way to convert all my old stuff to the new PC, which in itself is an arduous task. I have to get all of my settings from OBS set up on a new PC. I have to get all my equipment working on a new PC. I have to get used to using that new PC now, which is going to be different, probably different windows and all of that. And I have to get used to all it. It's going to take a while. That's not, oh, bought a new PC. Next day, we're up and running full speed with a great stream. It's not going to happen. It's going to be all kinds of problems. Shit's not going to work. Just converting. I guarantee you converting stuff over, half my shit won't work. It's going to be like, this piece of equipment won't function properly. This OBS scene isn't working. It's all going to be fucked up. I know it. So, basically, I got to get to a situation where, number one, I can afford the new PC. And number two, I have time to do it. Like, I have to have like a week. No exaggeration. I think it would take about a week of me daily messing with this PC, I have to still have a functioning old PC, right? So I can use that, but convert the stuff there and get it working on the new PC. It's going to be an arduous task. This is not an instant thing. By the way, I'm one person, okay? I'm not a team of people. I don't have anyone who can sit here and help me do it. It's got to be me doing it. Yes, I do have people who are informed on PCs, but they don't live with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a lot of stuff to get going. It's a lot different, okay? It is, the thing is, people just assume that every other content creator is me. No, every other content creator is not me. Okay? I'm very different. I'm very lucky to still be where I am and have the audience I have and all of that with the level that I'm at and the popularity that I have. It's not great. So, I don't have a team of people who work with me who I hire to do so. I don't have, a paid group of employees who can set up a new PC for me and convert everything over and have it working, and I'm just the talent that sits down and now streams that day. That's not the case. Okay? So anyway, the thing is, I want you to understand, I'm not discrediting what this person is saying. Basically, this person is saying do a ton of hardware upgrades. However, literally the first thing I need to do is the PC. Once the PC's done, then if I want to piecemeal select, hey, maybe it's time to upgrade my microphone. Maybe it's time to get better light. The lighting, I think, I've used the ring light for a year. Do you guys not think the ring light is great? I think the quality is amazing. I'm sure there's better, but I'm not in a professional studio right now doing content. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe one day I will. Maybe one day we move into things like DS politics, and I want to look more professional than just like a guy sitting here in a gamer chair with game shit behind me, and I want to look a little better. And if that's the case, then maybe we upgrade the setup, and I have a better setup here with a better lighting and better background and everything. If I'm going to be like Matt Walsh, I have to upgrade everything. I have to look like I'm in a big room with wooden desk and everything. There you go. But anyway, I jest, right? I'm jesting here. But I see the point. The problem is people like to move forward at like turbo speed. Like, instead of being, okay, you got to learn to walk before you run. You got to learn to jog before you run. You got to learn to run before you can run a marathon. And then you got to run the marathon before you can become a professional athlete. You know what I'm saying? This person's like, just immediately just do everything. Just drop a ton of money and upgrade everything at once. That's not how it works. Being honest. Someone's car alarm went off. That's never going to work. Okay? It's just not. It has to be a slow burn process. Step one is probably new PC. Then take time to learn the new PC and convert all of the stuff over from the old PC to the new PC. That and alone will take weeks. Then step two, what's next? What's the next thing? Right? Since I have a new PC, now I can get a new capture device that works much better with the new PC. It's going to be better quality, no frame drops. You know what I'm saying? What's the next step? Okay, maybe now I want to upgrade my mic and my lighting. It's upgrade your mic and your lighting and your capture device and your PC and everything at once. That would never work. First of all, it's too much money. Number two, I don't have the time to just do all that at once. What am I going to do? Not stream for 2 weeks? So spend all this money, but then don't stream for 2 weeks because you're setting up your new stuff. So don't have the money to pay what you just spent, right? Like, huh? Anyway, there you have it. That's kind of, people are now saying random stuff and tagging me in the chat's distracting me. Sorry. That's where we are. I guess we're done with suggestion box for today because we're out of time. Okay? Pizza Box Gaming did a second super chat and said, suggestions be like, lulz, stop listening to us. That's exactly what this person said. They said, stop listening to feedback from everyone. By the way, here's a ton of my feedback that you should listen to immediately. I don't know how you don't understand how hypocritical that is, right? Okay. So far, no other super chats or memberships. However, I did receive a $25 tip from 1 Minute Man. He says, good day, Phil. Good support. Good gaming news, if you know what I mean. No, because I don't think there was any gaming news today. Did you pass a perception check? Burnout is definitely a thing. Superhero movies seem to be affected as well. Remember that certain game has more staying power than others. Huh? Good day, Phil. Good support and good gaming news, if you know what I mean. Did you pass a perception check? Burnout is definitely a thing. Superhero movies seem to be affected. Oh, he's talking about RPG. He's talking about RPGs. How I'm playing so many RPGs that it's burnout. I agree. I completely agree. When you're playing so much of the same genre of game, even though they're different, like, let's be honest, Like a Dragon is different from Balers Gate, is different from Final Fantasy VII, is different from Dragon's Dogma. But they're all the same genre, and it just becomes overload. So he's saying kind of like superhero movies. Even though, yeah, they're not all the same, there's so many of them that you just get burnout. I completely agree with that sentiment. And I think sadly, that's what's going to happen if I keep playing more RPGs, and no variety. Everyone's going to get burnout. It's not just going to be me. It's not just going to be you. We're all going to feel this exhaustion at too much of the same games, right? I totally agree there. So I think, sadly, that's kind of what we got to do, is take a step back and say, all right, let's focus on what's working. Right now, Baldur's Gate 3 has a consistent audience that supports it. We want to see more of that. Okay, but they can't be the only game I play. So let's balance that with the other new game that just came out, Final Fantasy VII, and we can bounce back and forth, and that will probably work. But I want to keep Like a Dragon in the rotation. I mean, we're already 40 hours in. We're not going to drop it now, right? And I think Tekken for now works. Now, maybe later in the month, we get Star Wars Battlefront in there, and that's some good variety for other types of multiplayer rather than just Tekken constantly, right? And, of course, later on this month, we have a new game with, like, Rise of Ronin, and that'll be different. That'll be a completely different style of game. So, there you go. And then you've got your variety going, and it doesn't feel like burnout because you're not just playing the same kind of game over and over. I really do feel like, sadly, it's just been too much of the same. I can't disagree with that whatsoever. Too many of the same. Even though the RPGs are different, they're all RPGs. They're all in the same genre. That's what's been coming out. The games that were supposed to be variety, like Suicide Squad, flopped miserably, right? So, what are you going to do? Excuse me. I am very interested in the Battlefront collection. Yes, this is the classic Battlefronts, 1 and 2 from the 2000s. These were insanely good games. Very addictive, very fun gameplay, fast-paced. The graphics were groundbreaking at the time, by the way. I owned them on PC, and they were super-duper good. So, yeah, like, I'm very excited for the Battlefront collection. I just hope that people like it as much as I would. I know I'm going to like playing it. I just hope that people like watching it. You know what I'm saying? My Rune says, what about Alone in the Dark? That's a big question mark. I agree with you there. That's a big question mark. We have no idea if that game's good or not, right? We don't know. We have to see what happens when it comes out because it's been delayed multiple times. It could be really good. It could suck ass. So let's see what happens when it comes out and go from there. But I would consider playing that if it's good. Can I move the game over sign because it's not showing up during gameplay? Hold on. Because I thought it was. Let me... It's right there. Game over. You can fully read it. In fact, I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you can. Sure, you can. I don't... Normally, I would say, okay, let's test it, and I would agree with you, but that's not the case at all from what you're saying. It is fully visible. So I don't know what you mean. Like, I actually was hoping that it was on camera. That's why I set it up like that. So, I don't know. It seems like what you're saying is false. I'm sorry. I tried, and we did a live test, and sadly, the test did not align with your statement. What am I looking forward to most in GTA 6? For me, I think seeing another location being modernized and interactive. Like, for example, GTA 5 was so cool because you got to return to basically San Andreas, but see it in a modern setting with modern graphics and all these new gameplay elements that made it feel like a vibrant, real LA, right? To see that in Miami might be pretty cool. Now, I don't know what they're going to do in Miami because I don't think Miami is nearly as interesting as LA or New York for that matter, Liberty City, right? So I don't really know what they're going to do with it. I think that it worked in Vice City, because in the 1980s it's a little different, right? Modern day, like, how often do you hear anyone talk about Miami in 2024? Right? Maybe you hear about someone did too many drugs and started eating people, like the Florida zombie or whatever. That's about it. I don't hear anyone talk about Miami. So, you know, I don't even know realistically what's going to be so interesting about the game. I guess we have to see, right? We'll see what they do with it. But I think probably that's one of the things I'm more interested in seeing is how do they turn modern day Miami into something vibrant, real, and modern that's also fun to play. That's fun. That'll be interesting to see. Okay? Outside of that, I don't know. We don't know anything about the game yet. We have zero info. So it's dumb to just speculate when we don't know anything about it, right? Bloomkit, 9 months as a member, says Miami is beautiful. Well, I've been to Miami. I've been to Miami Beach. I was down there in the 2000s for a training, for a job that I had. And, it was fun. It was fun to be there and bar hop and do stuff. But at the same time, again, realistically for a video game, I don't know. That's like it's like a party city. You go there for a vacation. You sit on the beach. You go bar hopping at night. You have some food. Like, that's it. That's the whole culture there. So how does that equate into a GTA game with crime and stuff? I don't know. But I'm not making the game, so it's not my job to know, right? Traveler Tinker, who cares? Why do you keep asking me a question that's inconsequential to anything? Like, he keeps spamming the chat. What do you think about a leak that Lucia in GTA is an ex-stripper? Who cares? What does it have to do with anything? I don't care if she's an ex-stripper, an ex-firefighter, an ex-banker, an ex-superhero. Who gives a fuck? What does that have to do with the game? Can you qualify the question in a way that makes any sense? Instead of just spamming it 17 times in the chat, maybe. Maybe they should do Seattle because it's crime-infested. I mean, I definitely would like to see a GTA in a new spot. It seems like they just keep redoing the same territory. It's either Liberty City or the San Andreas area, or now they're going back to Miami. It's like, why are they going to the same 3 locations a million times? I mean, there's a whole fucking planet that they can explore. It seems like they're kind of copping out in that regard, right? Okay, guys, anything else you want to talk about today? Excuse me. Before we jump into Final Fantasy again. And by the way, just to reiterate, yes, today, if we do hit the hat goal of tips, $100, the tier 2 tips goal, yes, we will have the return of Rod Stewart Cloud on the stream. I'll put the wig on again for today if we hit that goal. I don't know if we will 2 days in a row, honestly, but we will see it return if we do hit that today, okay? All right. Bloomkid did a super chat. He says GTA Ontario. I mean, and there's so many places you could have GTA that would be interesting that aren't just the same 3. So I don't know why. It's like they're afraid to go somewhere else or something. I don't know. GTA Ontario. There you go. Now here's Bloomkid. I don't know. I don't know why they don't try a different city. I would love to see a different city. A GTA in the Midwest? How would that work? I wonder. Or, how about this? A GTA that spans different locations over time. So maybe the GTA starts off in a major city, but for some reason you're on the run, you're on the lam. So then you have to go to a rural area. For the whole middle part of the game, you're literally in like a rural area hiding out, but then the stuff catches up with you, or maybe you get into trouble with gangs and stuff in that area. And then for the finale, you go back to a major city to wrap up the game. That would be neat, to have a change of scenery in the middle, rather than just the same thing the whole game. I think that would work. Yeah, exactly. That's how, in San Andreas and GTA 5, they did that, but not really, because it was still the same map. Imagine if you literally leave the area. Like, you're in one map for the first 30 hours of the game, then you completely fly somewhere else in the country and you're just in a rural area and you're limited to that area for the middle of the game. And then after that, you go back to that city, or maybe even a different city. Maybe the finale city is different. It's a different city, right? I think that would be better than just one map for the whole game, because it gets stale, especially when it's the same maps, right? Why Susha or Isusha 116 did a super chat. Is there any chance to play Plumbers Don't Wear Ties Remastered? It's not even a game. You know that, right? Like, everyone knows from over the years of hearing of this game, even the Angry Video Game Nerd reviewed it, it's not a game. It's basically a joke. It was like a college project or something that they hired these like indie actors, right? That weren't even really actors, to do like still frames and a minimal video. And this was one of the titles for was it Sega? No, it wasn't Sega CD. It was it CDI? I think it was CDI, Philips CDI, if I remember correctly. They wasn't even on like a mainstream console. It's just a joke. It's a terrible. It's not funny or fun. It's just stupid. Like, you cringe at it, how bad it is. I wouldn't recommend anyone buy it. I would recommend people go watch someone else like laugh at it or make fun of it. It's such a waste of everybody's time. Was it the 3DO? Is that what it was? I thought it was the Philips CDI. No, it was the 3DO? Okay. GTA 4 remastered? Man, I wonder how that would work. Because, you know, GTA 4 is such an anomaly because it took GTA onto a modern console, but it kind of felt like its own entity, doesn't it? Even though they claim, oh, it ties in with, like, GTA 5, I kind of feel like it's its own game. The graphic style is so different from what came before and what came after. Even the driving is unique. Like, the driving is completely different in GTA 4 than it is in other GTA games. So, but I love it. Like, GTA 4 was the GTA that I played first. I never played the original trilogy. I played GTA 4 first before I was a YouTuber. So, to me, that's still, like, the best one. It's, like, the best story, too. Like, I love Nico Bellic as a character. I think it's the best character art of any protagonist in any GTA game. Am I planning on seeing Dune 2? Well, I didn't see Dune 1. Every time there's a new movie out, people come into my chat and say, are you going to go see the new movie? Well, let's see. The last time that I went to a theater to see a movie was when Spider-Man Homecoming was out. It was a movie that when my wife, before we were married, was visiting me one time, before we even lived together, we went to the movies together and saw Spider-Man Homecoming. And that was the last movie I saw in a theater. So what makes you think I'm going to go to the theater to see Dune 2 when I don't go to movie theaters to see movies and I didn't see the first movie? Right? It's like, if you just have a series of qualifying questions before you ask me the question, you can answer your own question. Right? So am I going to see Dune 2? Yes, we're going. Tomorrow night, we're going to go see Dune 2. Absolutely. No, see, I know I could watch Dune 1, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me for whatever reason. It doesn't even seem that interesting. Like, the original Dune, I had to watch I had a class, a pop culture class in college, and you had to watch Dune 1 as an assignment, and I fucking hated it. I fell asleep. It was boring. I was like, why do people like this? I don't know. Same thing with, I can't remember the name of it now. The Harrison Ford movie with the Reploids or whatever the hell they're called. I hated that movie too. It was Blade Runner. I hated that movie too. I was like watching these old... I think it's just that old style of sci-fi doesn't appeal to me for whatever reason. I just kept falling asleep watching these movies. I was like, they're just not interested. They don't hold my interest at all. But the thing is, I was like in my 20s. Maybe now I'm in my 40s. Maybe now if I watched them, I would like them. But, you know, I hear, oh, they redid Dune. And I'm like, I don't really care. I don't really want to watch the new one either, you know? Total Recall, I think, is great. Yeah, See, this is the thing, like, the sci-fi movies of the 80s and 90s that were more like action movies. Those I like, you know, or Aliens and stuff like that. But when it comes to these more like psychological ones, Dune, Blade Runner, the psychological sci-fi, I think it's boring. No, I didn't see Oppenheimer. I'd like to see it eventually, but I didn't see it. Fifth Element's great. Fifth Element's a great movie. It's a perfect combination of action, comedy, and sci-fi. And it's got a great cast. All right, Ichiban Kasuga, I'll see you later. He says, I don't want any Final Fantasy spoilers. He said now. Yeah, we're going to start in a minute here. We're at the end of the tail end of the show now. Cerebral ones? Yeah, sure. The cerebral sci-fi, I've always found kind of boring. Maybe it's funny because there's plenty of movies that I like that are psychological movies. It's just had never been sci-fi. I don't know. Are you taking off too, Rebecca? All right. See you later. Any last thoughts, anyone? Any last comments before we begin? And thank you to those who have supported so far. Please, guys, support the streams. Obviously, I don't like to sit here and talk about it all day. You know that. Yesterday was great. Let's at least keep the momentum rolling. I'm not saying that every day has to be an insanely great day like yesterday was, but it would be great to have a decent day today. So please support Final Fantasy VII if you like the playthrough. I have seen Eraserhead, and it was a weird-ass movie. I think I did like Eraserhead because it was so weird. It was just so odd. Is being a streamer harder than a 9-to-5 job? I guess the question would be, there's a lot of qualifying questions to answer that. Like, what's the 9-to-5 job? Is it a job you like? Like, is it an occupation you actually enjoy? Like, most 9-to-5 jobs I ever had, it was more of a grind for me. You know what I'm saying? So, since I'm grinding 9-to-5 and I don't really like what I'm doing, I'm just doing it for a paycheck, I would say, no, this job is much easier and better because I love what I'm doing. Since I enjoy what I'm doing, this is more fun than any other job I've ever had. It doesn't feel like, oh, I have to force myself to come here every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like doing this. So, yeah, the answer is no for me. Anyway, personally. Is it work doing this? Of course it is. Especially me, the way I do it versus other streamers, I have a set schedule. I put a lot of effort into what I'm doing on each particular stream. There's a lot of setup behind the scenes and all of that. It's not, oh, I just stream whatever I want casually and get 1 million fucking views on everything I do. And people just toss me money just because I turned the stream on. It's not like that for me. You know, it is work. But I love the work that I'm doing. So therefore, it's meaningful, it's fun, and it's definitely better than any job I've had before. So is it easier? Of course it is. I'd say it's much harder to do something. I didn't change the schedule for today. It's much harder to do something that you don't like and only do it just to make a living. You know, that's the hardest one, because then you're forced to do shit that you just really would rather not do, and your mind has to kind of be like shut off when you do it so you're not bothered by it and stuff like that, right? I would think that would be much, much harder to do than actually having a job that's fun to do, right? And I've been there. I've had many jobs that I did not like, and I just did it for a paycheck. I just tried to type on my PC using my laptop. That's funny. I think I did the schedule right. There might be a typo in there. In fact, there is. I see it here. Okay, the schedule should be updated now, because I forgot to do it last night. There we go. Did it on the fly. Okay. Is it good now? Rebirth, and then it's like a giant infinite world. Yes, there you go. Schedule is correct. I fixed it. Cool. If I had the amount of support as I had in the old days, would I still stream or just do videos? No, I should have started streaming and being interactive with my streams much earlier. If I had jumped on that way earlier, like let's say I did direct capture starting in like 2011, and I became a streamer 2011, 2012, and I did these interactive streams when I had the giant audience I had, things would be a lot different today. Really. Because a lot of my criticisms early on is that Phil's a dinosaur. Phil doesn't put effort into his Let's Plays. He just fucks around but gets popularity and he doesn't deserve it. That was a big criticism of in This Is How You Don't Play. And it would have been harder to do This Is How You Don't Play if I was actually improving and doing trends and things like that. I was ignoring all the trends around me, and that's why a lot of the hate and the change of attitude towards me happened, you know? That would be one absolute thing I would change from back in the day, is that I would have adopted all this stuff sooner. Okay. All right, guys, let's end the show. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. And I still keep forgetting to do this. Watch this. I still have the wrong art here. I have to change this art. Here, I'm going to take out winter. Where's the winter one? Frozen Phil I'm taking out. And I should probably add in one or two pictures. Let's see what I can add. Let's add... I'm trying to find the spring. There's a spring one and there's an Easter one. I guess it's a little early for Easter, but we could probably add in the spring. Here we go. We'll add in the spring. And then... I guess that's good. I got rid of the winter and I added in the spring. Okay. Alright, so guys, there you go. Thank you for watching the Level 1 Podcast and chilling with me. I hope that you shall stick around as we're about to start Final Fantasy VII. I know it's going to be fun. We're going to finish up this cool open world content. So, thank you for chilling and relaxing. Tomorrow, we'll probably be following up with more info on Final Fantasy VII. Hopefully, we'll have some game news. I guess we'll see. If not, I guess we'll do more suggestion box. All right? Thank you all. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.